Hi, I'm Todd Henderson. Today I want to show you how to install the aFe Stage 2 cold air intake system for the Ford F150 EcoBoost motor. Let's go ahead and get started. All right, so what we have to do is we have to remove this portion of the factory intake system. The first thing we got to do is remove the map sensor. That release is right here. You just press in and you pull out, the map sensor comes right off. Next we can go ahead and release the intake. So we're going to this first band clamp right here. We're going to loosen that up with a 7mm. Once that's loosened up, we can rotate it. That way it can come apart. Now we're going to loosen up the other band clamp down below. Once that's loose, we just rotate it out of the way. All right, now we're going to release the clips from the factory airbox. And then slowly and carefully pull that out. Once we have that out, we can pull these loose. And remove factory air filter. Now we're going to go ahead and install the cone filters into the housing. What we do is we pick up the housing, fit the cone filter right in there. You want to get it past these little nubs on the outside of the filter. We're going to take our band clamp, slide it over top of there. We're going to just gently tighten down that band clamp, but we still have to put the tube in there, so we don't want to tighten it down too much. We're going to do that on both the filters, and then we're going to install this into the factory position. Using an 8mm just to slightly snug this up. All right, now the factory airbox is going to have some tabs that are mounted to it for the wire harness for the factory map sensor. We're going to go ahead and release that from the airbox on the front and the back. Rotate that out of the way. Next, we're going to install the housing and the cone filters. If you notice these two tabs that stick out of the side of the housing, they're going to lock into these two openings in the side of the airbox. Now we're going to attach the two factory clips to the aFe housing. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take our factory map sensor and we're going to pull it out of the factory intake tube. We're going to pry very slightly on this little tab, then turn it almost a quarter turn, and we're going to wiggle it out. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to install the grommet that's supplied in the kit onto the aFe intake tube. Now this is the rear tube, the one that's going to be positioned a little closer to the firewall. Once we fit that into place, we're going to take a little screwdriver, run around the outside of it to make sure it's nice and well fit in there. We're going to take the factory map sensor. We're going to fit it into the grommet. Now we're going to go to our intake tubes. Our map sensor, the end that goes to the engine, we're going to take our reducer coupler, we're going to slip that over the end of that. Once that's in place, we're going to find a band clamp that's got a number 60 inscribed on it. That's going to fit over top. We're going to go ahead and tighten that down. Before it's completely tight, you want to make sure the coupler is on all the way and make sure that you're not over top of one of the beads. Just center it between the beads, tighten it down. Now we're going to go to our other tube. This is the one that curves back. And this one is going to get not the reducer, but the expander. Have the band clamp on the tube first. Set that one in place. This is also a number 60 band clamp. We'll slide that on top and tighten that one down. Use an 8mm nut driver on this. Now we're going to locate our balancing pipe. This is just a rubber tube. We're going to get a couple of band clamps that both have number 32 inscribed on them. We're going to slide them over top here. I like to have both of the nuts facing the same way so we can easily tighten it. Slide one over here. And we're going to loosely tighten this down. We're just going to get it snug. We're not going to tighten it all the way because we want to be able to make some adjustments when we're fitting the assembly together. And we're going to mate these two together like so. slide that other number 32 band clamp. Just get it snug. We still want to be able to move those around before we do our final tightening. All right, now on our factory intake tube, we're going to take our largest band clamp. This has got a number 72 stamped on it. We're going to just place that over top. We're also going to take the number 52 band clamp. We're going to slide that over top of this one. Next, we're going to take our assembly and put the couplers in place. Now, as you're tightening this down, you want to double check, make sure you stay centered in the bead on that coupler, and snug it up. All right, now this one up on top, we're going to slide our band clamp back in place here. I'm going to go ahead and one at a time bring the filters back through the housing and install the aFe tubes into those filters, and then attach the band clamps. Now we're going to go ahead and tighten down our band clamps with our balancing tube. All right, now we're going to go ahead and reinstall the plug for our factory map sensor. For our final step, we're going to go ahead and install our seal. It seals up against the hood. Just fits right in place on top of our airbox. Well, that concludes the installation. If you have any questions, call the experts. We're here to help you out.